Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, May the 7th, 2025, and we are super excited to be alive and among the living, that we have an opportunity to love on you, to encourage you, and to share our morning fuel with you. So go ahead, like, love, tag, and share. Tell somebody, hey, Dr. V is on. You only got 15 good minutes, and she's going to be off. So join in for the encouragement on today. I want to make sure that if you are live, say good morning so I can say good morning back. But if you're watching by replay, make sure you type hashtag replay so I can come back and engage with you a little bit later. Listen, yesterday we were excited and it was on fire. Yesterday was great. So today we're getting ready to start with a favorite, I want to say a favorite phrase, but a phrase that says, be bold and burn anyway. Be bold enough and burn anyway. Did you hear me? Be bold enough and burn anyway. Let's be honest with ourselves. Sometimes seasons are cold, the seasons drain you, and you are left wondering even if the fire you felt before is still there. Can we tell the truth this morning? Can we just tell the truth? Sometimes the most powerful flames show up in the hardest places. I need to tell you, sometimes the most powerful flames show up in the hardest places. Sometimes God will light something in you and let it stay lit even when the atmosphere feels off. Why? Because you have to make a difference in that atmosphere. So go ahead and tell yourself, I need to keep on burning my fire even when it's not comfortable. Good morning, Alicia. Good morning, Denise. I need to keep burning my fire even when it is uncomfortable. Be bold enough to burn anyway. Somebody type it. Be bold enough to burn anyway. All right, great. Let's keep it moving. You have to stop waiting on perfect conditions. Stop waiting on people to agree and stop waiting for everything to line up before you do what you're supposed to do. Ooh, that was Leisha. That was good, wasn't it? That was good, Leisha. It says you have to stop waiting for perfect conditions, stop waiting for people to agree, and stop waiting for everything to line up. We've been waiting too long. We say, I need to wait for the weather to get right. I need to wait for the audience to get right. I need to wait for my money to get right. I need to wait for this to get right. I need to wait for my weight to get right. I need for my health to be 100%. No, be bold enough to do it anyway. Stop waiting on the perfect conditions or what you think are the perfect conditions to do what you're supposed to do. Be bold enough to do it anyway. Right now is the perfect time. The time is now. Right now is the right time. Yes, yes, yes. Be bold enough to do it anyway. Burn even when people don't get it. Let's go a little bit deeper. Huh? Lean in a little bit. Because some of you aren't just struggling with conditions, you're struggling with people. Let's be honest. We're not struggling with conditions. We are struggling with people. We got that peopleitis going on. People who don't understand the version of you that's showing up now, and people who liked you better when you were small, quiet, and dimmed down, you have an issue with them. And you're trying to figure out how to accommodate them and what you got going on. But sis, brother, my friend, lean in. Lean all the way in. Look at this. Not my monkey, not my circus. Whether they agree or not is not your problem. You don't owe comfort to people who can't handle your calling. Come on, somebody. You do not owe comfort to people who cannot handle your calling. You do not have to explain why you're lit. You do not have to apologize for your fire. You don't have to apologize for where you are right now, because truth be told, they liked you when you were going through, but they don't know all the details of what you went through. They don't know what they saw. I need you to tell them, I am unapologetically burning, and I'm going to let my fire burn, baby, burn, because this is what God called me to, and I am unapologetically walking in my calling. I'm going to be bold enough to burn anyway. Good morning, Deaconess Ernestine. I don't have to shrink to survive. I don't have to shrink myself down to make you feel better about you. I don't have to diminish what I'm called to do and snuff out my fire because you feel sort of uncomfortable. Not my monkey, not my circus. I have something to do. And do you think God took into consideration other people's opinion when he called you to do what he did? Absolutely not. He did not take into consideration what they were going to think when he called you to do what you're supposed to do. So if he didn't think about it and he made you, he set the fire in you, why you got to worry about it? Not my monkey, not my circus. That's not my problem. Your insecurities are not my problem. Your discomfort with what I'm called to do is not my issue. And I can't babysit your insecurities just to make you feel better because I got work to do. We babysat grown people long enough and trying to accommodate and make them like what we're doing, trying to make them approve of what we're doing, trying to make them feel good about themselves. So we when we feel good about ourselves, they won't feel bad. Time out. That's not your job. That is above your pay grade. And until they go back to the manufacturer and get checked out what they need to get checked out, they're going to stay where they are. And while they're staying where they are, you need to keep on moving. Don't stop. No, keep on moving. Don't stop. You got to keep on moving. Why? Because you have to be bold enough to burn anyway. Let me tell you what I've learned. Some people are allergic to fire because they've grown used to things being cold. That's good. Oh, that's good. Some people are allergic to fire because they've grown used to being cold. But that does not mean you need to lower your temperature to make them feel better. I ain't gonna do it. Nope. Not this good season of my life. Absolutely not. Don't lower your temperature to make them feel better because they're allergic to fire. If you can't handle the heat, stay out the kitchen. Get out. Get to moving. Get to stepping because I got to go because I'm bold enough to burn anyway. I'm bold enough to burn anyway. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. Listen, now here's the part that made me shout. I was at this one. I said, "Ooh, let me run." Just because you're burning does not mean you're being consumed. Listen, remember Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? They put them in the fire, and when they pulled them out, that didn't even smell like smoke. Guess what? That's your story because, baby, you've been made fireproof. You've been made fireproof. Fireproof. That's you. You were built for this heat. God didn't just give you a fire. He gave you a covering. He didn't just give you a fire. He gave you a covering. You are fireproof. Psst, can't touch this. Dun, 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 dun. Can't touch this. Dun, dun. Listen, you better understand. We are bold and we are bold enough to burn anyway, to let our fire burn, to let our light shine. And guess what? He didn't give you a fire, just a fire, but he made you fireproof. And I need you to understand that you better go ahead and burn anyway. Yes, the pressure is real. Yes, the fire is intense. But baby, you are coming out better, not burnt. You are refined, and you are not ruined. You better burn, baby, burn. Listen, whatever it takes, however it takes, you better come on. Hey, so how you doing? Come on and do what you need to do. Burn, baby, burn. This girl is on fire. You don't have to worry about people's opinion. You don't have to worry about them being able to pull you out of the fire. Why? Because you are fireproof. I need somebody to type into the comments, I'm fireproof. This is good to me. This is good to me. Y'all listen. This is good to me. I am fireproof. Just because you are allergic to the heat and to the fire, don't mean I got to let my light go out. Huh? Absolutely not. So I'm gonna leave this with you. We got a few more minutes. We moving. You've been praying for peace, for purpose, and for power, and God answered with fire. You've been praying for peace, purpose, and power, and God answered with fire. It's not always loud, it's not always public, but it's lit and it's very much real. That's right. I am fireproof. Your fire is lit and it is very much real. Today, I want you to walk like a person on fire. I want you to talk like a person on fire. I want you to parent, teach, serve, sail, whatever you got to do, right, and lead like a person that's on fire, because you are fireproof. You've already been lit. I know the song says, "This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine." That sounds amazing, but ain't nothing little about the light that God put inside of you. Come on, somebody, that song was cute. I'm not knocking it, but where we are right now, ain't nothing little about the fire that God put on side of me. Ain't nothing little about my light. I'm gonna let my light shine. It's not even gonna be I'm gonna let it shine because God put it in me. And if God put it in me, it does not stay the same size. You're going to grow. That fire is going to expand, and it's going to impact everything that it comes in contact with, because you're in the right place at the right time. Stop waiting on the perfect conditions. Stop waiting on the perfect opportunity. Matter of fact, create your own opportunity. Huh? Stop waiting for somebody to notice you and say, "Hey, why don't you?" No, do it. Build your own table. We're trying to find a seat at somebody else's table. Build your own table, because why? Their table may not be able to handle your fire. But I came to tell you that you are fireproof. Even when it is hard, I'm still lit, because I was born, you were born to burn bright. Burn, baby, burn. You were born to burn bright. Be bold enough to do it anyway. Be bold enough to do it anyway. Are you bold enough to do it anyway today? Huh? That's a question. Are you bold enough to do it anyway? Are you bold enough to burn anyway? Let's go back over our little fuel ups for today. Because I got real excited. Listen. Burn when it ain't comfortable. Because sometimes your seasons are cold. Sometimes you're tired. And sometimes you feel like, is it really even a fire in me? Burn anyway. You're still lit. You still have purpose. Be bold enough to burn anyway. Stop waiting on the perfect conditions. You ain't gonna get it. And then we went a little bit deeper. Some of you are not struggling with conditions. You're struggling with people. Get over people and burn, baby, burn. Let's move. Get over people and burn, baby, burn. People like you, they liked you better when you were trying to figure out who you were. They liked you better when you didn't know what your purpose was. They liked you better when you didn't wake up on fire. But now that your fire is lit, they can't handle it, and they are allergic to the fire because they're so used to the cold season. But guess what? Their allergy has nothing to do with you. I cannot accommodate your allergic to my fire because you can't handle it. If you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. And sometimes that means that your circle needs to change. Get over people. Get over people. Get over people. You are fireproof, and it doesn't matter what they say. God says, dun, 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 dun. They can't touch you. They can't put your fire out unless you give them the power. But today, lean in and say, today, I know that I am fireproof. Period. I don't have to shrink to survive. I don't have to make myself be small because you can't handle it. Not my monkey, not my circus. Absolutely not. So remember, you're fireproof. God got you. And ain't nothing little about your light, because everything God does is absolutely amazing. And it's going to flicker and flame. And it's going to impact everybody you come in contact with. I know I got a little bit excited today, but this thing blessed my soul. Because friends, my sisters and my brothers, you got to be bold enough to burn anyway. Women, we honoring women this week. Mother's Day is coming. Baby, you done went through some of the hardest things with some of us have went through some of the hardest things with our children. Burn on, baby. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve to be where you are right now because you've endured some of the hardest moments of your life, and some of those things nobody knew about because you preserved the integrity of what you and your family were going through. And now that you're here, unapologetic. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Honey, let me clap and tell you, now that I'm here, you ain't gonna my fire, you can't touch it. I used to give people control over my fire. I used to let people make me feel like they had to dictate whether or not my fire was burning or not. Huh? Because I was more loyal to people than I was to the vision that God gave me. I'm just talking about me. I'm just talking about me because I know what I've been through. Ain't that wrong being loyal to people. But when you are more loyal to other people's vision than you are to your own, God has an issue with that. Because that means your fire ain't really burning. You burning their fire. You help keeping their fire burning. You help keeping their flame burning. And God said, what about what happened? What about what I gave you to do, Vanessa? Lisa, what about what I gave you to do? Miss Clemens, what about what I gave you to do? Aunt Mary, what about what I gave you to do? Denise, what about what you so busy helping other people build their fire, make their fire be big and make them shine and make them look good? And God has said, what about what I called you to do? Your fire is still there. I need you to help build your own fire. Build your own fire. Build it up. Listen, I know we say this little light of mine. Ain't nothing little about your light unless you make it little. Ain't nothing. And I said, ain't. I know what my English teaching self. Ain't nothing little about your light unless you make it little. Ain't nothing little about your light unless you let people diminish your light. Stop changing the temperature because people can't handle how hot you're getting or how big your fire is going. Stop it already. You are fireproof and you have the right to shine and unapologetically walk boldly in what God has, because people don't know your story. They don't know all of what you've been through. They don't know all of what you've had to overcome. They don't know all the fights you had to fight behind closed doors. They don't know all the illnesses you had to go through. They don't know the depression that you fought. They don't know how you fought being devalued. They don't understand those things. So because they don't understand, you don't have to explain, but all you got to do is burn, baby, burn, and be bold enough to burn anyway in the midst of things that may not be favorable according to what they see. But I know that everything that God puts inside of you is favorable. So your favor has to burn and impact every room that you walk into, because that's what God has called you to. And it doesn't matter if they can handle it or not. They can either get with it or go home. I love y'all. But we've got to stop letting people disconnect us or diminish or stop diminishing our fire because people can't handle it. Some of us are called to do great things, but because we're afraid of how certain people may feel about what we're doing, or we think that they feel like we're going to bypass them, or we think that they feel like we're not good enough to do what we're doing. We dim our light and we sit there like this, and God's like, what are you doing? I called you to be great. Why are you still sitting here doing nothing? Why are you sitting here building up everybody else, cheering them on, liking their stuff, loving their stuff, sharing their stuff, going to their conferences, going to their conventions, attending their events, attending their churches, but yet still you have things that I've called you to do, and yet still you have not moved in it because you're afraid of what people may think, or you're afraid they may think that you're in competition. You're in competition with nobody but yourself. Burn, baby, burn. Be bold enough to do it anyway. There are 1,000 fast food restaurants. Well, you know, there are more than 1,000. But I'm just saying, there's so many fast food restaurants. Many of them serve burgers. Many of them serve chicken. But guess what? They have their own area, and they let their fire burn, and they draw the crowd they're supposed to draw. Stop letting people cause you to dim your light just because you don't want to make them feel bad. It ain't your fault they haven't acknowledged their purpose. It's not your fault that they haven't submitted to God and said, yes, Lord, I'll do what you want me to do. It's not their fault they're not comfortable with their fire. Be comfortable with your fire and move on. I'm not fussing. I'm just saying, y'all, I'm excited. Because even a year ago, I wouldn't have been in this place because I was worried about what people thought. Let me tell you, I was one of those people. I was worried about what people thought. I was concerned about people's opinions. I was concerned whether or not they felt like I was good enough to be in the space that God was calling me to. So instead of God pushing me, guess what he did? He had to sit there and let me be still and figure out where I was supposed to be. He had to let me sit there and figure out that my fire deserved to burn like everybody else's. He had to sit back, take his hands off, let me submit to his will, get over myself, get out of my own head, get out of my own way, and then say a yes, Lord, that wasn't predicated on people. Huh? There are too many things for us to do in the kingdom without feeling like we're in competition with other people. Your fire, as a matter of fact, we're supposed to complement each other and make each other work together to make the kingdom great. We don't have time to dim our fire because we don't want people to feel like, oh, we're trying to outdo them. I don't care. Don't. Stop diminishing your, Denise said you was. Stop diminishing your flame because you feel like people can't handle it and they can't handle where you are. That is not your problem. Let me put up here again so you can see it. Not my monkey, not my circus. It ain't my problem. Making them comfortable with my calling, that's above my pay grade. Ain't got nothing to do with it. And I don't. And I stopped trying to accommodate their insecurities. So on today, I'm getting ready to go. I'm a little bit over time. I got excited. I apologize. Supposed to be 15 minutes. I hadn't been up here 21. Burn, baby, burn. Burn, baby, burn. Thank you so much, Denise. Y'all lit 10 toes and all her feet in my back. Burn, baby, burn. Today's word, and I'm going to put up a graphic so you can remember. Be bold enough to do it anyway. I am Dr. Vanessa J. Kelly. Where's my mama, Dr. Vanessa Jean Kelly? Listen, we on our reset series this week, and we get ready for the reset room. For educators, the reset room is free. All you got to do is register. The link is going to be here. All you got to do is register and pay for your workbook, which is only $7. Ladies, ladies and gents, the reset room is ready, and we are excited to have you. Please make sure you know that you have permission to be bold enough to burn any way. Bye, my sisters. Bye, my brothers. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.